Hey, Dan, thank you for stopping by, man. I was worried I was going to be talking to myself, looking at myself on the TV the whole night by myself. Thank you. Sorry, didn't make it on the other night, but apparently there's some rules about going live on YouTube that I didn't know about before I opened my mouth and said that I was going to go live. So, uh, great video, by the way, on the new Viper car. It's been a while since I've been to their website with all the stuff going on. So I haven't had a chance to check out their new offerings other than what they have on eBay. Um, that car looks kick ass. Um, have you had a chance to time it yet? Going around your oval with your phone? Hey, Dan number two. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Now it's just not Dan and I talking to each other like we would on the phone. Appreciate you stopping by. Um, I don't have any set order on doing anything tonight. In fact, if you guys just had questions, I'd be more than happy to answer those. If you do want some of my little tips, and I can move around the camera around the room, I'm more than willing to do that too. Like I said, this is my first time ever going live ever. So you guys tell me what you want to see, and we will. I'll try to accommodate it and see what kind of fun we can have. Hope everybody's having a good Labor Day weekend. I don't know what you celebrate in Canada, if you celebrate anything at all on this weekend, but in case you didn't know, to all my fellow Canadian viewers and friends, I consider you friends. We have what we call Labor Day down here, and it's a weekend that we get basically one day off as saying, yay, you're a worker. Here's your one day off that we're going to give you a holiday on, and not even all the businesses actually give you a paid day off, but the most of them will give you a day off unless you're in the service type industry. And fortunate for me, I work when banks work, basically, and the post office works. So if they're closed, I'm off. And I am fortunate enough that the company I work for does reimburse us for that holiday. So I'm very thankful. I could obviously be paid more, but sometimes as you get older, you'll learn that money's not everything. And that's what I found out about 10 years ago. Had my adult epiphany, so to speak. So how's everybody doing this weekend? I know that I'm not a very fast typer myself, and I'm trying to look at the screen down here on the computer so that I can answer questions. Or if there's stuff that you guys just want me to go ahead and start doing, then I can do that too. Like I said, it's a pretty intimate crowd as of right now. There's 7 people watching. I encourage everybody that is watching to at least chime in and let us know that you're here. And anybody that does have any questions, please bring them on. I can start off tonight with showing you a couple of things that I've learned. I'll start off on the easy stuff. As you know, I collect, as you can't tell, if you couldn't tell behind me, if you haven't seen any of the previous videos. I am an avid HO slot car collector. We all have our niches on what we go for. I stay more for if you're going to look as a reference for chassis types, I go from basically your TYCO Pros, your buttons, and your wipers up in the TYCO family. And as far as the AFX Aurora Tomy family, I go from the non-magnet traction up. So basically your T-jets and your vibrators and your matchboxes and all that older stuff I don't mess with. Those are great looking cars, don't get me wrong, but if you are a collector or if you've been on eBay and you've noticed that there's echelons of collecting, and I'm in what you would call the working man's, the blue collar um, collecting mode. A lot of those T-jets can go for well over $100. Hey, all right, Tate. I see you there. Yeah, pricey too. The old ones, yes, I concur. So, as to give you an example, because I am with quantity and quality, and so I want to find my happy medium for both. and that is that basically I get the most for my money. So, as an example, rather than spending $150 on one really cool looking T-Jet, I would rather buy three $50 in the package TYCOs for 40s if I could. That would be mine. Hey, Ryburn. Yeah, see you beat me out on one of my Porsches that I was running for you on at the Pro Tinker Toys. Congratulations, that was a great looking car, man. I'm trying to collect the Porsches, and I don't know how many you have, but that was a great one. That's why I wanted it in my collection. But like I said, if you're a collector, you know you've got to draw your line in the sand, and otherwise you'll just go broke. Because if I was a millionaire, a lot of people would spend a lot of money on a lot of things, and I know a lot of my money would go on slot car stuff, without a doubt. So I mentioned in the oh no, man, no, don't be sorry. No, not at all. No, I harbor no hard feelings whatsoever. It is always who has the most and is willing, to sacrifice. And if you buy any slot cars, you got to know that going in. If you're going to get your feelings hurt because someone outbid you, then you really need to find something else that's not so hurty feely, because you've just got to set your line in the sand and say, this is all I can spend. And that's what I did. And you know what, Wyburn? Actually, when you bought that, you did me a favor, because later that night, I got an offer for the other 3 cars of the Top Fuel Auto World 4-gear cars, of the only 3 that I didn't have that they released that weren't specifically for race sets. I was able to purchase all 4 of those for just a little bit more than what you paid for that one car. So there's my perfect example. So now, as an example, one of those cars is right here. It's getting ready to get sold. I don't need it. I already have one. You guys saw it in my case. So now I have the complete collection, other than the new 3 releases that they've come out with, of every series of Top Fuel dragsters that they have. So, like I said, it's karma, man. So thank you for being sorry, but don't be sorry at all. Good job. I'm glad the car went to a good home, because I see you buy a lot of stuff on Pro Tinker Toy, and if I had your wallet, I'd be buying the same things. You've got some really good taste in cars, my friend. And in return, like I said, it's all karma. I got to buy the other cars that I needed, that I was really dreading having to buy the individual prices for, and got all 4 of them. And so I can turn around and sell the one that I have that's still brand new in the package for about the same prices that I've been seeing on eBay that I was going to have to pay for the other 3. And I basically got all 4 of them for the price of 2. So not a bad deal. So no, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. No, don't apologize at all. I'm glad the car went to a good home and somebody that has good taste in slot cars, because you do. So, and if any of you are viewing this and somehow have not ever viewed the protinkertoys.com live feeds, you are missing out. I don't care what day of the week it is. If you are able to just at least catch some of the live feed while it's going on live, you will never know when Brian's going to announce something new that's coming through the pipeline, a sale that he wants to have on something if he finds it and he wants to get rid of it really cheap. Just random sales that some of the viewers goad him into. I've been MIA on a lot of those here the last few weeks, because of obviously haven't been on YouTube either for a month, but I have been watching and I have been keeping up. It's just life, my friends. I won't get into details, but suffice to say, Dad has had surgery number 3 since the last time we spoke, and he made it out of that one great. And if you couldn't ask to be kicked anymore when you're down, then man's best friend. I've got 2 dogs that I inherited, and the oldest dog is a full-blooded German Shepherd. And the last couple of weeks, regrettably, she's going to be 13 years old. And I don't know if you are all familiar with German Shepherds' lifespans, but yeah, long story short, she's about the end of their average age for how long they live. And her hip dysplasia, I guess is how they pronounce it, is, thank you, Robert. You too are my friend. Thank you for supporting the channel. And like I said, thank you for supporting the hobby that we all love. And that right there just shows me why I'm in the hobby right there. See, someone's apologizing for beating me out on a on an auction. And like I said, you gotta keep it real. You just gotta keep it real. That's why I love this hobby. I personally drag race. That's why I've got the Mustang hat. My motor is currently at the engine builders. And I used to build my own stuff, but there reaches a time when every man's got to know his limitations. And there are things that professional engine builders can do that they know that I don't know, that putting together the type of motor that goes into my drag car um, is worth paying to have done. I'll put it that way. And so later this fall, hopefully I'll have it going. But that's why the slot cars have really taken full front and center, because normally during the summertime, the slot cars are just like, once or twice a week when we get together and race. And then because I'm racing on the weekends, the real car, the one-to-one car. Um, but even if it is running, that doesn't mean I stop the slot cars. That's my friends. We race slot cars 365 every chance that I, got a hold of them and said, hey, are you free on this day? Can we get three of us or four of us together on this time, on this week? And thankfully I've got some friends that are, just enjoy this just as much as I do when we get together and do this. So, anyway, so there's a little background on the slot cars, the racing. So like I said, thank you, Ryburn. I appreciate it. Congratulations on your car, but it all worked out in the end because I got three that I really needed. I really wanted that one, but I got three more that I really wanted to. So, like I said, rob Peter to pay Paul, but we both won, and that's the main thing. So check out the live feed. So I mentioned in the description, and since nobody said, hey Dan, there's Dan again. Okay, Canadian Dan with Slot Valley Racing. I'm going to plug him too. If any of you happen to be subscribed to my channel and you're not subscribed to his, I strongly encourage you. A, better production. B, more steady content, because his life seems to be on a steady cruise, and mine seems to be in the middle of a hurricane out in the Atlantic right now. So two different ways. I'm trying to get stuff out there. I try to keep in communication with everybody, and I apologize again. It's just like I said, there's only so many hours in a day, and there's only so much that I have to prioritize and do. And right now, selling a lot of slot cars to pay for said motor that is going to be ready this fall is what I've got to do, because I've unloading a lot of inventory. In fact, I actually sold some cars on eBay from people that were subscribers to this channel. If any of you are watching this now or in the future, please get a hold of me at email scottdanielmo@gmail.com and say, hey Scott, I see you've got this car listed on eBay. How much can I get it for off of eBay? Just do not say anything on eBay, because I will not reply to anything on eBay. I cannot risk losing that eBay sale. So yeah, just get a hold of me on email, via email directly. And if you see any of the previous videos, buy it before Evil Bay, I give the same guarantees. PayPal guarantees you just the same way when you pay through them, when I invoice it the way I do. Mike, hey buddy, hope you and Steph or everybody are doing well. Hope the boxes and unpacking are going well. You can't wait till I have the story I got to tell you. I'll just briefly give everybody synopsis. So I'm going to actually pan around the room, because I've actually been so excited to show everybody a tour of this room since I've gotten it redone. Because as many of you know, or if you do not know, I'll give you a little brief history. Landlord said they wanted to raise my rent. Owner stepped in, said no, leave him alone. And then now the leasing company has said that they notified me back in May. Instead of saying that they were going to raise the rent, they said that they now are saying that they weren't going to renew my lease. And so I was on auto renew, so I thought everything was good until 2 weeks ago, and then everything went to hell. So long story short on that, I'm really glad that from all the packing that I did the first time, I didn't get all of it unpacked this time. But I have gotten a lot of the cars back up on the wall, back in their cases and out of the bubble wrap. And then I also got working on the track. And that was why I was doing this video, is because I'm to the point now, believe it or not, guys, where I'm ready to run wiring on the main table, the big 4x8 sheet, and then attach the L part of the table. And that's what I was going to show, is my tables being modular instead of hammers and nails, kind of like what I did with my track. I use screws instead of using nails to pin it in. That way, if I need to make adjustments or if I got tired of that layout, all I had to do was just unscrew them out, and I'm good to go, instead of having to pry nails and taking a chance on breaking the track. So I had somebody ask me on why I did that. All right, here. Third truckload. Yeah, see, that's what I'm dreading. I don't know how long. I can't remember, Mike, if you told me, but I can't remember. I've lived in this place. I'm going on my 11th year. I won't be here 11 years, obviously, because um, let's just say my attorney is going to make them honor the lease, or I'm going to get to live here for free until the lease is over. That's just where I'm going to leave it. And we go to court on Wednesday to find out which decision they decided on. But either way, odds are I won't be here for another 4 months. And so I got to start packing again. So another hence reason why I want to do these lives, because it's much quicker for me and people that can't join me live. I have put it on recording and with all the comments there. So if they're kind of lost on what I'm rambling about, at least they can look in the comments and below and follow along at a later date. And that goes for anybody. Now, if you have to buzz out, I completely understand. This was just completely random. Just thought I'd throw that out here. Hopefully, like I said, everybody's having a good weekend. Third truckload. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the actual picking up and moving. 11 years. 11 years when they sold it. Yeah, how much stuff you have until you got to move it across the country. Yeah, see, that's my biggest fear. Is I didn't realize how much stuff I had acquired just for the what I call the man cave, and that's what this is. All the slot car stuff. It is insane. Um, yeah, insane. But if you love something, you don't even consider what you're doing. You're just doing it because you love what you're doing, and it's the history of it all. So, without further ado, since nobody's said anything specifically on anything other than what I kind of mentioned in the description, I don't know if a lot of you, yeah, good luck, my brother. Yeah, that's why I'm going to keep doing these live feeds instead of videos. Like I said, because I don't have to sit there and edit it all night, and that's what takes me forever. Is because I am no genius behind the keyboard like Dan at Slot Valley Racing. Man, I'm telling you, slick videos. I know how much work it takes to do what he's doing, and I appreciate all the effort that he puts into it, because I don't know if the 10 of you that are watching, I know Dan does, and I don't know, Mike, if you do, but all of us that are making these videos, we're not making a dime off YouTube. We're not getting paid a penny. We're doing this because we love the hobby, and we're trying to grow the hobby, and we're trying to bring more people into the hobby, because we know if we do that, then that's just going to help grow, expand, and instead of just having a few certain race sets coming out by certain manufacturers, then maybe it'll expand it again. And my hope is that as the cars of the future that we drive daily, a lot of manufacturers are announcing that they're no longer going to make petrol powered cars. Dodge, the last Mustang that's gasoline powered is going to be released. And I'm sure Chevrolet is going to follow suit if they bring back anything to do with the Camaro, since they're pulling it in 2023. The next year's its last year, unless they extend the life of it. But my hope is, after that little brief explanation, is that Mattel, instead of signing off their rights to Auto World, decide to reactivate their patents that they already own for all the TYCO stuff, and start making TYCO stuff again. That would be my goal. That's what I would hope. I hope it gets big enough to where Mattel gets into it, and not to the point of squishing out other people, because if they're getting into it, that just means the smaller ones like Auto World and AFX, Race Masters out in Vegas, that just means that they're going to be growing in volume too. And so it's the snowball effect if you're in sales. And honestly, with cars going electric, if we can get the hobby going that way, if more younger kids or kids that are closer to driving know about this hobby and have interest in it, then I can honestly see where somewhere down the line a major toy manufacturer is going to want to jump in on it. Um, so anyway, there's my once again my little ramble. So let's get back to the one of the reasons why I want to do the live feed. Maybe share a tip. I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with Jeff Ryan. He does a lot of the older T-Jet stuff. Like I said, I don't personally collect them or race them, but I love this hobby. So I watch everything I can on YouTube from everybody's channels that I can that has anything to do with HO slot car racing, any way, shape, or form. HO Buckeye has some great stuff with his. Steve at Stockpile Hobbies. I know there's several. Ringo at AFX World. Who else we got? Oh, well, we have Mr. Slot Car Crazy himself. He even posted one today on his biweekly feature, which was a really good one on the TYCO Lola version. So, one of the things that I learned on Jeff Ryan's channel that I thought I'd pass forward in case you guys haven't heard of him is how to remove paint off of plastic slot car bodies without melting the bodies. Because apparently, I've never personally tried it. I have always been one of those people that if it wasn't originally like it was, or just had some stickers on it that I could soak in hot water to get rid of them, then I wasn't buying it because I didn't want to hassle with trying to remove paint. Well, you watch enough of his videos, he basically shows you how to just restore a piece of crap into something that's worth some good money. Because I've watched some of his stuff sell on eBay because I know what he paid for it because he'll tell you on his website, and then he restores it and turns around and puts it on eBay to sell. And you can just, like I said, those T-Jets, if they're done right, are worth a lot of money. And I'd love to be able to be my wallet to be able to be in that bracket of collector. But like I said, I'm in the common man, the blue collar side. But anyway, he uses oven cleaner. And it's real simple. I just do this right here. I just stick it in here, put the body in it, fill it up to where when the foam's completely covering the body, and the foam is just going to turn into a liquid, and you want to make sure so the body's upside down. And here's the trick. Now I'm going to show you 3 different bodies and what'll happen depending on how long you leave this stuff in there with your car. You got to be careful. I will tell you that much. So the first one I'm going to show you here, as you can see, this is what I'm going to keep it and leave it this way, even though all the paint didn't come off of it. This is what I'm going to call it like a body shop special, like it's been worked on at a body shop. Because honestly, if you can tell that white on there, it looks like it's been sanded that way. So, kind of turned out to be a diorama piece without actually intended to be one. But the point is see how thick here. I'll get it up here. See how thick the paint is compared to this side over here. I was able to pry and prick it all out. This car sat in the oven cleaner here, just the cheapest stuff I could get because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it if it wasn't going to work. I'm tight like that. Anyway, 3 different times to get that thick white whatever paint they used off of this car. And you can see even on the back where, like I said, on the 3rd time of using the brush and scrubbing, I was like, you know what, I've got it off the glass. I'm good. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to use this as a diorama piece. So it doesn't work on all. Yeah, great results. Yes, Ryber. Yes. And that's what I'm getting to here is a success story. So this one was a black car, a black ZR1 vet. I know I was able to pick it up before the oven cleaner ate off the tampo, which is the next car I'm going to show you. And there's the part where you got to be careful. This car was a solid color car. And I always, after I do it and I see the paint start to bubble off, I get a soft bristle toothbrush and start lightly scraping it off just to see what's underneath. Okay. And when I got enough of this off and I figured out that this was just a solid one colored car, and I didn't have to worry about tampo, that's when I just kept soaking it, scrubbing it. Otherwise, what will happen is what happened to me. And that is the first time I did it, I left it in here too long. Can you see the Porsche? TYCO didn't make this Porsche this solid red. It's because it ate off all the tampo. Now, don't get me wrong. This was a solid black car that had multitudes of decals and stickers. So the adhesive and the water base, both on this car. I counted over 22 on it. And anyway, I let that soak in there for 8 hours, trying to, because I thought it was going to be like the vet. No, not so much. As soon as I started scrubbing it off, the tampo went away, and I forgot to get the car that what this is supposed to look like. Give me just a second. Most of you, if you're TYCO fans, probably already know, but this is what it should have looked like when it was all said and done. And this is what it turned into after leaving it in the oven cleaner too long. So you've got to be careful, because this is obviously a molded red body that was painted black with the decals, the Porsche up there sticker, the Porsche there sticker. That was all painted over. There's a Bosch, the part numbers up there, the 49. I'm looking at my TV to see if you guys can see what I'm seeing. Apparently it's too dark in here. If I turn on the other light, the glare off the cases kills. So I apologize, but I can try it if you guys want me to. But anyway, long story short, since this was painted, that stuff ate it off. It ate off everything. So you've got to be careful with it, or you will ruin what you're going after. I wanted a runner to look like this, ended up with a runner that like I said, it turned out great. It's just, this is what I was expecting. This is what I got. Now, like I said, once bitten, twice shy. So the third time I tried it, I'd actually bought 2 cars on eBay. And fortunately for me, somebody didn't list this one correctly. And if you are see the solid red, I think that's going to be a runner too. That's why I kept it, instead of trying to sell it, Robert. And I'm right there with you. Looks clean and smooth. Exactly. Slick. See, Dan? Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. See, so it was a mistake that turned into a good mistake, but a lesson that I can pass forward, because like I said, my intent was this. What came out was this. Like I said, a good mistake. I'll take it. I'll take it. So the third time I've tried this was the reason why I bought the 2 cars. This was the only reason why I bought the 2 cars. This is why I was bidding on them. The other one was painted completely black, had no clue on what it was, except on the back license plate, it had a little Chevy emblem. That was it. No stickers, no nothing. Just looked like somebody had spray painted it. I'm like, well, I don't care. I want this car. And if any of you don't know what this is, I'll inform you. This is a set car only, of the Ferrari variety. And if you're a TYCO collector, you know that there's a bajillion different variations of the Ferraris. This one happens to be the number 2, and it came from one of the International World Tour race sets. This is the reason why I bought the 2 cars. This right here. So I knew I didn't care about the other one. It was like, okay, at least I'll have a chassis, because that body's trash. Well, like I told you, you leave it in there for 10 or 15 minutes, and as soon as the paint starts to bubble, start lightly using that fine toothbrush. Hey, Chuck, thanks for coming in, man. And this solid black car is what was underneath. Remember the Chevy emblem I told you about that was the only thing showing? There it is. As soon as that other paint that they had on this car started bubbling up, and I got this off right here, and I saw the number 8, I couldn't contain my excitement. If any of you have been on eBay, you know how expensive these cars will go for. This is a Dale Jr. set only car from his version of the Napa 500 version, which I have two of those tracks. So now I have the cars that came with that set, and then now I have one of the two that came with the other set. That was my surprise underneath the solid black car when all I intended to buy was this one. I got this car, cleaned up this car for $35. I'm not selling either one of them, but just to give you an example, $35 was a steal on this by itself. When you throw in a Dale Jr. set only car and it cleans up this nice, yeah, that's a steal. So now you're seeing the three variations of what can happen to your Tampo depending on how long and what kind of paint is used. Right there. Some kind of paint it just doesn't work on, or it's going to be impossible. I don't know what they did, but that stuff dug into the plastic. This one, it was painted just as black as this one, but I left it in there too long and we got rid of what it should look like. Like I said, I'm not disappointed. It turned out to be a good mistake. And then this is the one that I found. So you just never know what you're going to find underneath those painted bodies off of any collection that you buy from somebody. Like I said, I was just tickled pink that I got the one that I was originally wanting, which was the set car, and turned around and I guess good karma got me with this one. So there's my tip for that. Has anybody else, I see there's 12 of us now. Welcome everybody. I'm encouraging everybody, comments, questions. That's my question to you guys now. I'm going to throw it back. What else besides oven cleaner have you used to try to get the paint off of these bodies without taking the Tampo off like I did on this one? If you ask me, it looks like a test shot car now. If you're familiar with the TYCO test shots, that's what it looks like. So, like I said, HP2 chassis, nice, still runs. It should come with an original HP7 chassis, but Oh yeah, you need to check out his new video on that new Viper car that he got, the Bulldog. Yeah, that thing looks sweet. I like it. I'll put it that way. Big time, I like it. So that was my little tip on the oven cleaner. If anybody that watches this down the road, if you're not live with us tonight, yeah, Dan, the Bulldog kicks ass. I can say that because this video is not made for kids. So if anybody else has an idea, but besides oven cleaner that they've used that works, that maybe, I'm willing to try it on this one here just so we can see, this is how far I got with basically a full day. I left it in there 3 times, 8 hours each, and this is what I ended up with. What I'm going to call, if no one else comes with anything better, I'm just going to leave it as like a diorama, like it's, getting worked on at the body shop. But like I said, that was my tip for that. Now, I see Tim on on the web show. He likes to use olive oil to clean the plastic bodies. Obviously that's got a nice shine on it. This is without olive oil. There's a system that I use, and I've tried. Jeff Ryan, the same guy that I got the oven cleaner tip from, he likes to use Chemical Brothers VRP vinyl restoration. I've tried that, and I came back. Yeah, see, I'm not down with putting I don't want my cars to smell like olives. I'm just saying. I want them to smell like the oil that I put in there. That's that old time smell that I have whenever they're going around the track. You You even mentioned that in your video, how that car smells. Well, exactly. Every time I test one of my cars that I get and I'm using a battery on it, yeah, buddy, it's like, oh, memory time. You remember putting in the 3-in-1 oil and watching the car go a lot faster. But anyway, I use Novus is what I use. They've got a 3-step program. This is their part 1, and here's the part 2. And I've got some suggestions for this too. So if you're going to use the part 2, it is dangerous on the Tampo also. It is more abrasive, so it will take it off. And I would not suggest using the 2 on anything like this. You will take off the fine decals that they have tampoed in of the, you know, the sponsors, and yeah, if you scrub too hard, it'll turn out like this. Since this one was already gone, I went ahead and got rid of all the scratches on this one, and that's why it's kind of all lit up or all shinied up. But then I come back and then I use the Novus number 2, and then that's what really gives it that nice clean shine and makes it just slick to the touch. Hey, all right. Some Lucas. Are you talking about like lubing, or are you talking to like clean? And what kind of Lucas product are you talking about there, Chuck? I'm curious, man. No, like I said, I'm not a guru. I learn stuff from other people, and I just share what I've learned. And that's why I'm hoping everybody does with this channel and all these channels, because that's how we all get our knowledge base up, and we can help bring other people in because we make it easy. Gun oil, okay. Okay, no, I have to try that. Lucas gun oil. Okay. Well, see, I'm in Missouri, and if a lot of you didn't know, Forrest Lucas, the owner of Lucas Oil Products, came from Wheatland, and that's just about a 45-minute drive from my actual location where I'm at. And he has the Lucas Speedway up there in Wheatland. They call it the Diamond of Dirt Tracks. I have to look it up on the web if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about. That friend of mine that was on here, the Angry Coyote, he's talking about his Mustang and his motor, because I told him his car sounded angry all the time because he's been doing a lot of work to it. And those motors, they just have a different sound than your standard old pushrod V8 since they're overhead cam. And I told him it sounded angry. So anyway, thank you for the tip on that. I'm gonna try to get some of that stuff and try that out. Appreciate that big time. I can highly, in fact, I bought what I did is on Amazon, you can get like all 3 bottles. There's a 1, 2, and a 3, and it comes with like 1 or 2 of their little pads, and you can get it for less than $15. What I did was I bought the 3-pack to see if I liked it. Found out it works more or less like what they said they do, but I'm really impressed the way that it really cleans the plastic and gets the cars to shine up without damaging anything, and that's why I use this stuff. And then I went ahead and bought their 64 ounce, so all I have to do is just keep using the funnel and refilling this instead of buying the individual bottles, which are $10 a piece. Makes no sense. Buy all 3 for less than 15, or buy 1 for 10. I don't know. So there's my tip for that is if you're not going to really do any hard polishing to try to get out any hard scratches, then stay away from the 3-pack and just buy the 24 ounce thing. Use your own squirt bottle, and I think that the 64 ounce ends up costing like $23 on Amazon. You could buy, this is an 8 one, so 8 bottles be almost like $80 versus $24 for the bigger jug. So that would be my suggestion. So I'm sold on this Novus. It works on cleaning the plastic cases on those out, scratches. Yeah, and use that and some microfiber towels and go to town. And then one of my little tips, another just my personal one that I found, and that is, believe it or not, is a type of Q-tips that you can use. Not necessarily always getting the standard Q-tip brand Q-tips, but getting some with these specific points on them that are hard pointed. These are set up for what they're called cosmetic swabs. And the reason why I really like these is because I can get that Novus on the swab itself, and then I can go through there and get in through right on all the edges of all the plastic where all the glass goes. I can get on all the NACA ducts, like for example. I don't have to try to force the microfiber towel underneath the wing back here. I can use this because of that tip. We'll get back up underneath there. I found these with a combination of the old school ones because I like them to rub in that stuff and then rub it to a polished shine. But these cosmetic tips, and I see a lot of videos where guys seem to treat these things like they're really expensive. I bought this whole thing at Walmart for like $5. A car is going to cost you $30. Quit using dirty Q-tips. Then when they get dirty, toss it. You got more. Just saying. I see people use these things until they're just as black as black, and I'm like, why? You're just spreading around that dirt even more. But it is what it is. That's just my suggestion. Consider how expensive the Q-tips are versus what you're trying to clean and protect and take care of. Just my 2 cents worth on that. As soon as mine start getting dirty, I toss them. I just get another one out. I don't care. I'd rather buy 2 boxes of these things than ruin one car. Just my thought on that. If you like it and you got the money and you're competitive, yeah, you got to spend it if you want it. Yeah, yeah. That is true for any racing. Chuck? Racing's only expensive as you're willing to let it get. Real life and slot cars. Yeah. And that's why part of the reason why I'm single and I have a race car and all these slot cars is because I am single and I don't have to answer for when I spend my own money on stuff like I did with the woman that lived with me for the last 5 years before she moved out. So yeah, having to argue about me spending my money instead of spending it on her kind of got old. But anyway, I digress. So those were a couple of the tips that I had on paint removal, polishing, maintenance tips. I don't know if Ted's watching. He's also a member of the Pro Tinker Toys live feed a lot, and he collects cars. He'll tell you right now that he gets his cars out monthly, and yeah, U of M. There you go, Dan. Sorry, had a brain fade. Thank you for the backup. See, I'm really glad you joined the feed. And thank you to everybody else. We're up to 16 people. I had no idea. I honestly, and I texted friends before I started this and said, please join in at least for the first 5 or 10 minutes so it doesn't look like I'm just sitting here talking to myself, because I really don't have any idea if anybody is going to watch this until after it's recorded, because I don't know how many people are on vacation, doing the last Labor Day thing, or, it's Sunday night and some people do have to work tomorrow. And unfortunately I don't. So I thought, well, rather than sit here and try to film me rambling and have to edit stuff and cut it and blah, 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 I'll just put it out here. So U of M gets out all of his cars and he dusts them once a month. And I hate to say that, but yeah, I know why he does it, and I do the same thing too, because even if they're in cases, they get dusty. So those were the 2 things that I had set up as far as like little tips. One of the other things I was going to show you guys is I've been buying a lot of TYCO set tracks to match. Yeah, see, Dan, I'm track building. Yeah, here's something for you. I wanted to know the difference between TYCO and AFX track. And I mean, I'm an AFX guy. My whole track is AFX. But I've been buying a lot of TYCO sets lately that are used that I have the cars of. The sets don't have the cars. That way, when I spend 20 to 50 bucks on a set that doesn't have any cars, and I have those cars, then I've got the complete thing, and I can just build my collection that way, because somewhere down the road, the whole track set with the original cars is going to be worth more than just the cars individually. I'm looking for that little extra more. I am selling a bunch of stuff out of the what I call my sellers, but I do have this stuff here that you see on the wall. This is my I want to go on a cruise before I die around the world type of money. So that's why I'm saving this money now. Play the long game, exactly. Because who knows, depending on who gets in power, if I'm going to have my Social Security or not. I'll just leave that there. And I don't trust the government, no matter who's running it. So I know I trust me, myself, and I know that if, as long as there's other people like me that like slot cars, there's going to be somebody out there that's going to want to buy these. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, this is an eBay find. I got this for all of the guys that as a Christmas present this last year. All of us that race in our club. So back to I will honestly, and whenever the time comes, whenever any of these have to be sold, because like I said, I'm upgrading constantly. If I find a used car that's in better condition than mine, or if I find a new old stock car and mine's used, I get rid of them. That's why I just sold 10 cars last night on eBay, and that's basically 10 of them were just that very thing. Is I had found replacements that were new that beat what I had that was used old, and I don't collect junk, so if I'm getting rid of something, it's going to be worth money. Scott's House of Racing. Okay, so that is, yeah, trade up only. Exactly, Dan. You're getting it. That's what you got to do. You got to play the long game in this one. And I'm going to move the camera around here, and I'm going to show the room here a second. Scott's House of HO Racing is, you Google it, and now they've gotten rid of the Google businesses, and they've moved me over to Google Maps. So that's my business per se. I am open to the public by appointment only, because this is ran out of my house, or my duplex per se. And so I have had people come over and buy stuff before that have contacted me here in the local area. But most of my stuff is done either through YouTube, friends or acquaintances of other people that race or collect, and eBay. What state? Oh, I'm sorry. State of Missouri, or Missouri, as we sometimes call it here. Springfield, Missouri, to be exact, is where I'm located. Sorry about that. Misunderstood. What state? Yeah, state of misery. Yeah, literally. So to any of you that do not have any TYCO tracks, or if you've just never sat down and thought about it, like, what is the difference between a TYCO track and an AFX track? And you know, why would one person want one versus the other? And I'm going to use our little cars here that I used as an example for the paint to show you the differences of the track. And something that I discovered, which was pretty cool, and that is, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but TYCO didn't make a 12-inch bank track. Surprise, the only one that does, AFX, Tomy. So if you want to run a 4-lane bank track for TYCO, you're going to have to buy a 12-inch banked AFX and get them together. And that is what you see in front of you now. This is your standard 9-inch bank from a TYCO. I think it's from my Napa 500, one of my Napa 500 sets. And I like it because it's like that worn asphalt, you know, the dark and the gray. And I thought about toying with putting some TYCO, because they make the adapter track from TYCO to AFX, or AFX to TYCO, however you want to look at it. Dirty Jersey. Hey, I've sold several cars up in the Northeast. So you're in a better hotbed of slot cars than I am by far. Um, um, so take advantage of it is my point. The closest I have is Jefferson City, St. Louis, and those are at least 2.5 to 3.5, 4 hours away, depending on where I go. If I want to race in area clubs that aren't just my local friends. So back to the TYCO and the AFX track. So instead of redoing some of the track that I currently have here, I decided since I'm going to be relocating now, I kind of get to pick and more or less pick or choose what kind of living environment I'm going to be in. I am going to try to get one where I can have two tracks. I want to have one that's an AFX track, and I want to have one that's a TYCO track. And when I made that decision, I wanted to make sure that I could have my bank corners in a 4-lane track with my TYCO track too. And voila, I can. As you can see there on the bottom, I just clipped them together, but they fit perfectly. Look at that. I mean, no gap whatsoever. I mean, if if I didn't know better, and I'm going to point out the reason why I know they weren't made from the same mold, I would have thought they were made from the same mold. That is, I mean, these fit as close together as the original AFX with a 9-inch, instead of this being a TYCO 9-inch and this being an AFX 12-inch. And there you go. I'm going to put that up there. Do you see the differences? Aurora, yeah. Okay, yes, see, I didn't know that, Mike. I don't have one lifelike track. I do have some lifelike cars, um, but I don't have any lifelike track. So what I discovered with the Aurora and the AFX, yeah, exactly. That's I when I put these two things together, I was like, how are these things not made from the very same mold? But you'll see that they're not. The TYCO, if you'll notice the gaps between the car, the rails are spread farther apart than they are on the AFX. That's what gives them the gap. See the gap between the two? And there's no gap between those two basically at all. See that? Yeah, that's Dan. Yeah, the 12-inch banks is the way to fly, because even though the 9 inches are banked, when you're trying to go wide open on what would be the inside lane here. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, I'm going to try to turn on the light real quick before I take the camera around the room and get some light in here. Just a second. Is that better? Not, I mean, I knew I was sitting in the dark, but I was afraid of the glare from the, see that, there we go. I'll just try to hide it with my big fat head. Okay, there we go. See the differences now? See the gap in between on the TYCO track? Now look at the AFX track there. See that? And then look, there is like zero gap on those bad boys. Cool. Thank you for confirming. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I was just trying to make it friendly for the the glare with the lighting. I apologize. Someone should have said something earlier. I have no problem with it. I'll keep my big fat head blocking it up. So yeah, there you go. So what I'm going to do with the TYCO track that I'm going to do 4-lane is it's going to have the TYCO 9-inch banks, but it's going to have the Aurora AFX 12-inch banks. And then I'll just do the adapter tracks back, because I want to try to keep it as much one way or the other. Oh, cool. Thank you. Like I said, this is my first live feed, guys. So if I'm rambling, sorry. I I don't have a director. I don't have a anybody telling me what to do. I'm just trying to keep everybody going, or keep everybody entertained. There's more people watching now than, like I said, 23 of you. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you all for supporting the channel, and please support everybody that makes a video. Just subscribe and hit the thumbs up. That's all I got to say. Slot car crazy, yeah. He's one of the ones that Troy is his name. Jeez, oh Pete. Yeah, Troy is an OG. He's big on the T-Jets and the older stuff, but like I said, I still watch his stuff because you've just got to learn. He's big into the fray is one of the things that I know. So there's one thing I learned about TYCO track that I thought I'd share. Like Mike said, they're married. They look they look great together. The gaps, look at that, guys. I mean, there is no gap whatsoever. You can't see any light, that's showing my hand waving through that gap right here. You can't see it because there's not one. Like I said, if I didn't know better, I'd have thought that these were molded from the very same, AFX mold because of the way it fit together so well. So on the TYCO track, that's how I'm going to be able to do the banks on it. And I've been, and Mike, since you mentioned Lifelike, this is one that just got added to the collection. To all my Mustang friends out there. Yes, Mike, smash that button on the slot. I don't care whose video you're watching. Hammer them, man. Help everybody out. You would not believe what it does to the algorithms, because actually YouTube will promote channels based on people's interactions with that channel and the times that they're viewed. So it's like I tell my friends, I said, even if you don't have time to watch the whole damn video, watch part of it, hit a thumbs up. At least that just shows and keeps it out there for people to look at. So this was one of my latest purchases. This is a used Lifelike. I believe it's a, hey, by the beach. I remember you off of the Poor Tinker Toys website also. I believe it's what they call the T chassis. Oh, okay. I will. Name of the something with the one. Let's see. Yes, exactly, Dan. The more times it gets viewed, the more times it helps the actual time. So that's the bottom line, guys. If you can just, anybody that is making and taking the time to do these videos, like I said, unless they have over 1,000 confirmed subscribers, they're not getting paid. Yeah, that's why I was happy to just get the one, the 4 different colors. And yeah, I was happy to just get the one, because this one kind of reminds me of the TYCO version of the set cars that they had. So please, everybody's thumbs up, subscribe, get it out there, help everybody out, because like I said, it takes a lot of work to make those videos. Dan, you must have some sort of magical fingers on the computer to be able to do what you're doing with the editing and stuff, because I'm just not that good. I'll be honest. I'm more mechanical. Give me a torque wrench and an air gun, and I'm ready to go. Give me a computer, and I'm better off most of the times taking a hammer to it. Yeah, see, the T chassis is not my favorite either, Mike. I'm right there with you. I don't know, M chassis or T chassis. I'm not sure. Is it either one? It's not going to get ran. I just got it because, like I said, it was a Mustang and it was similar. One of the closest things to an actual looking like a Mustang than some of the other ones that are out there. So, I mean, trust me, since it's already been used, it's going to get ripped on the track anyway. And then I don't know if you guys saw in the thumbnail, but I had a picture of the Ford Escort, and there's a reason behind that. This is the car that was in the picture that I'm sitting right next to the track. That's why I can do that. This was one of my favorite cars when I was a kid. I've got the original one that I have back up there in the case, and then I got one brand new that I bought off of Bob Beers. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to race my brand new one. I'm not going to pull the old one that was my OG from back in the 80s, literally, that I bought brand new with my own money at the hobby shop. I was so proud. Maybe that's why I like this car so much. It was one of the very first cars that I bought with my own money, and Santa didn't bring it, or the Easter Bunny or somebody like that. Anyway, I was like, I want to see this car go around the track, and I'm not going to use my new one, and I'm not going to break out the old one. I need to get another one. So that's why I got this car. And it's not even on the right chassis, but fortunately for me, it was on a running Magna Traction chassis. Yeah, exactly. I love this car. And you know what's crazy, Dan, is whenever I was younger, the G Plus, which is the original chassis for this body, they had those foam tires on them, and I was fortunate enough that I was able to get my foam tires off with because some of those were actually glued. I was able to put the rubber tires that they'd stuck on for deco on the car and get it to run around the track. So I always used to play like, oh no, I got to blow out, got to change the tire, you know. But yeah, that top heavy doesn't handle for crap. But you know, it's just, you know, like I said, trying to make this car go fast against something else. You know, that was the gig on it. So that was one of my purchases there. Now, I don't just collect cars, as many of you know. I also try to get some of the historic memorabilia. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, like I said, believe it or not, that looks like, I know. Here, I'll get it up here close to the camera, but you can see it looks like somebody stepped on it. See the posts? I know there's a little bit of delay. I'm watching myself on my camera up here, but you can see the posts are kind of bent. And anyway, and so it's a run. This is going to be a runner, and so I just know from owning one that there's a piece of chrome that goes back here that's missing. So like I said, but I don't care. This is, like I said, sometimes you just buy cars from the heart just because. So that one's going to be a runner around the track. And then, like I said, I don't just collect cars, but I'm also into collecting, you know, when I can, whenever the price is right. And I don't have a lot of it, but any of the old advertising books. Yes, runners are more fun. Exactly. So now I've got my looker, and I've got you know, it's Dopenlanger right out there on the track that I can race and enjoy. And that's the thing is, I have a lot of cars in their coffins. I can't remember the guy's name that's part of the channel that put that in the comments, but he said, get those cars out of their plastic coffins and run them. And that's stuck with me ever since. I love that. So now I call them their plastic coffins. But anyway, this is a TYCO, basically their promo book from 1973 and 74. And the reason why I got this was because, I mean, I have my original, guys. I still have my original TYCO train. I can actually dig that out and show you. But I got bored with trains real quick. You know, put a little oil in the thing to make it smoke. Yeah, well, see, I used to be that way. They call me the mayor. If you look way back at some of the opening pictures of some of my very first, yeah, buy two, run one, there it is right there. That's why I try to buy two of everything, or in this case, you know, multiples, just so I have one to keep nice, and one to run. But if you look way back at some other pictures, before this table was even starting being built, I had a 4x8 sheet of plywood with a sheet on it, and there's a picture of the track, and there's like a section of maybe 10 cars. And I didn't even have my original cars that I had from when I was a kid out there. And that's all I had. And you can ask all my friends and the people that I currently race with, quote unquote, I don't care about what the track looks like as long as it's fast and we have fun racing and it's fair for everybody. And I said, I'm not collecting cars. If I can't race them, I'm not buying them. I said, I don't have the time or the money to worry about collecting. Yeah, that was 6 years ago. So much for that. When you start wanting to buy cars from your youth, and then you start buying cars that you didn't own, that you wanted to own. And here you go. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to buy this book, is because my first track was a 1974 TYCO Pro track, and it was this figure 8 track right here. And you had to literally hook up the positive and negative wires. There was no plug and play to the track terminals, and you had to do it with your controllers too. Yeah, 1,400 cars later. Yeah, see, you know how it starts. It's, oh, I'll just get one. Oh, I'll just get two. Oh, that one's cool. Oh, I need that one to go this one. Oh, well, I've got 3 out of the 4 of those. I need to get that color. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 I got a whole room of cars just like that. Oh, that kicks ass. I got to have that. Oh, well, that one went with that one. Oh, well, I got to have the set. It just, you can find an excuse to buy a car for anything. Oh, it's a full moon. That means I get to buy a slot car. Yay. Yeah. Oh no, I don't. I don't have nowhere near 1,400. I wish I did, but I understand how he got to 1,400. So back to this. This is my back in the day, like I mentioned on one of the other videos. I can't remember which one. Um, Back in the day when you bought a set, it was my Infinity review. Um, they only used to come with one car. And there, if you remember, my tour of Scott's House of HO is the one car that came with my Chaparral. I had a lighted Chaparral, which ironically is not the one that's worth the most money, but it is what it is. So there's my track. That was my original first track. I no longer have this track because that was the only TYCO track that I ever owned. And from everything else forward has been Aurora AFX. And I still have both of those original tracks that I had from back in the day. And then one that I bought back in the late 80s, the Bill Elliott Stock Car Challenge, I think is what it was called. That when me and a guy moved out, we turned one of our spare bedrooms into the slot car racing room, and I got back into it again for the late 80s, early 90s. And then when he moved out and we packed everything up, then that's pretty much the way it stayed up until 2016. And then that's when I asked my buddy, I'm like, hey, you guys, if I get this stuff out and put it together, you guys going to come over and race, or am I wasting my time and my money? They're like, oh no, I used to do that. Yeah, do it. Now they've ended up dubbing in too. Yeah, me too. See, I ran into a guy that I went to high school with that I was showing pictures of my track, and he's like, yeah, I just built my first track from when I was a kid from when he first had his first track ever, and just built it again, and then had so much fun with it that he started building it again for his kids. You know what I'm saying? And they all got back into it, and that's that's the whole passing it down type of thing. It's hard to believe that there used to be like over 3,500 hobby shops that you could go race slot cars at its peak in the late 60s, early 70s. That's just blows my mind. Blows my mind that Ford Motor Company gave away a car to the guy that won the national championship running T-Jets. What? Ironically, Bob Beers was the guy that negotiated the contract with Ford to give away those cars, and now he owns both those cars, the Thunderbird and the Mustang, that were both given away to the winners of those national championship races. And I think one of them was on the Ed Sullivan show that you can actually watch on YouTube. Yeah, a ton of parts. Yeah, see, there's the other thing too is Dan can attest to, and anybody else that does race, and Mike, and obviously by the beach, and anybody here, basically, if you're watching this, you like to race too. Um, it's not just having the cars. Now you got to buy the parts. Yeah, that Ed Sullivan clip is cool. That's where I got that from. Yeah, flea markets are a great place to go. There's a lot of them around here. Regrettably, um, most of them are filled with not stuff that I'm interested in. Not. I haven't found any slot car stuff in any of the ones that I've been to. So let's see here. Kind of gone over some of the things on the descriptions, on how to clean up the cars. Got a great tip on the Lucas gun oil. Thank you. And then kind of went over, the differences on the TYCO track, what I do to polish my cars, showed you guys some of the stuff that I've gotten here recently. Is there anything specific, any questions that anybody has that I can answer? If not, then what I'll try to do is I'll just unplug the computer, and then I'll try to hold the camera and watch and see where I'm going and kind of show around the room how I updated it. I know I'm going on a little over an hour now, and I'm losing some people. I'm gaining some people. People coming in, going out. That's cool. Like I said, I've set it up to record so that if anybody does have to leave, or if they didn't get to catch it at all, then they'll be able to catch all of the comments, understand what I'm answering or talking about, and be able to see it. And if you guys like this, I can do more specific. I was going to do another one this week, actually showing how I put that L part of the table together. Even though I'm moving, I've got all this stuff unpacked again to reassemble the table. I want to take advantage of the time that I do have while I'm here to get as much of it built as I can. So let's move some of this stuff out of the way. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I piled all that stuff up that I was showing everybody. Sure, Ryburn. It's my first and last name, real simple. It's Scott, Scott, Daniel, Daniel, MO, M is in Mary, O is in Oscar, for the state of Missouri. And then I'm at gmail.com. And please reach out. I love talking slot cars. Like I mentioned in one of my videos, you get a bunch of slot car guys together and start talking slot cars. Just throw away the time, because nobody's going to be looking at their watch until somebody else reminds them, hey, you've been talking slot cars for hours. You got stuff to do. No problem. All right, so I'm going to try this, and if it's too jerky or whatever, I apologize, and I'll stop doing it, and I'll try to set the camera back down. But what I'm going to do now is try to hold the camera and the computer and move it around to where I can at least hold. Watch out. Okay. This is here. There we go. The new shelves that I put in here. I'll back up. Well, this is harder than it looks. I don't know how those kids do it so well. All right, so let's back up some more. Sorry, I'm trying to dodge two dogs in here too. They're at my feet. But you can see there, I added shelves, and added all the ProTinkerToys.com exclusives. And then on the bottom, you can see I moved all my Carfeeties out of the case. Watch out, Fee. Trying to get a dog to move. All right. There we go. And then I got the Cars and Crews all set up across there. And I got rid of the ones that I'd made of extra stuff. Yeah, there's the Tinker Wall. Exactly. Sorry, it's hard for me. I don't want to make this too jittery and make anybody sick watching it. I'm trying to get it up there. Yeah, there we go. That one. Oh, where's my finger? There it is. That's one that I got off of the Pro Tinker website. That's what those of us in the collector world call the unicorn of the Ford GT40s, since there was that Australian toy maker that basically contracted to be able to make those cars. They made 6 of them, and I've seen one collection of all 6 of those cars sell for $1,700. Pretty crazy. And then there's my other G Plus that I already had. And then while I'm up there, I might as well just do the rotate. So I'll just start over here. Okay. As you can see there's the blank, and then the stock car below it is ready for the new blank one. And then if you look there, I got the SRT versions, the Mega G version, and then the Mega G Plus version of the cars. And obviously the new ones added in that they've already come out with. And I am literally only missing one. The computer's too heavy. There we go. Then we swing around there, and if you can see above the door, I'm really happy I got, I don't know my finger's gonna show, but I got that Williams. It's a pretty sweet ride. There's the dog. That's Buster. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to back out of my room. There's the Top Fuel dragsters I was talking about. I got that whole section, the GEICO. Those are the 4 I was telling you about. And then over here we got the other case that, like I said, I don't have my whole light on, so it's all the racing rigs that. Here, let's see what we can do. That's a little better. So if you were walking into my room, this is the man cave. Up there's the glare. Sorry, I'll tilt it down. And if you remember the last time I did a little shaky tour of the video, I'm going to have to be careful so I don't film the TV. Otherwise, we'll get a mirror effect. That's where the wall that had the Mustang poster on it. Obviously, it's gone. And that's where I relocated all the twin packs and stuff. And I literally now have cars going all the way around the room and some part of the way behind the TV. And what's crazy is I was just getting ready to start doing the Auto World when the other crap went down about the not renewing the lease thing. So anybody have any questions on any of the cars that I was just showing? I mean, like I said, I'm just kind of winging it at this point. I didn't have anything much planned other than just to take some time to interact with everybody, because when you make a video, it's a little different than being able to actually talk and share stuff back and forth. Like I said, I learned something on with the Lucas gun oil that I had no idea about. So that's all good stuff. Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah. Um, what's even cooler is that thank you, Ryburn. Um, I've got more on the way that I've already purchased. So basically, because of the Labor Day, so I've got like 15 new cars coming, new to me cars, not necessarily brand new. 15 new to me. And then I haven't put up any of the Auto World except for the Tinker Toy and the Carfeedis. And that's one of the ones that's coming new to me, and that is the I'll finally have the whole Carfeedis um, collection. I have the A version now, A or the B version, either way. I've got the other version of Buddha, so now I have them all. Yay! Where do we get the plastic? You're talking about the big cases with the individual ones, Mike? Those are Hot Wheel deluxe collector cases. Hey, Dan, thank you for stopping by, buddy. I appreciate it. Get a hold of me on the drag racing stuff. As you can see, I've got plenty ready to go. So we're going to be doing a crossover thing on some drag racing. See, I've got some. Those are just some of the cars I'm getting ready to put on eBay. So have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. And thank you for all your support. He's a great guy. Like I said, everybody, if you're watching me and you're not already, please go subscribe to Dan's Slot Valley Racing channel. Amazing stuff. Just watch all this stuff. You can buy those cases from Hobbytown. Hey, Kev, have a good night, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm going to do another live feed later this week when I build the L. Hopefully, we'll get some more people in here, and I'll embarrass myself trying to put together my table. Have a good night by the beach. Good talking to you. Thank you again for supporting the channel and coming by. I appreciate it. Like I said, several different cars coming. One things that like I said, I don't have up are any besides the Carfeedis, what's already in the cases, and what's already up is all the Auto World stuff. I don't know if you guys noticed that I didn't have any of that stuff up there yet. So I've actually, that's why the collection moved out into the hallway, is because I ran out of wall space, and I thought that by doing those two cases that and opening up by taking down that picture over here, I got this off of eBay. I'll after this video is over, I'll get the link to eBay for this shirt, and I'll put it in the description below for you. Because there's actually a couple more shirts that this guy that has them made. One of them's got an exploded view. It says "Got pancakes." I love it. Oh yeah, man, no problem. That's why I'm here. I'm less like I tell everybody that buys a car off me off eBay. I am here to grow this community because these people are some of the most down to earth, honest to God, good people you're ever going to meet. I mean, it's just a whole different group of collectors and group of people. I deal with a lot of type A personalities at the drag races, where everybody's got to be Mr. Macho Man. Everybody's got to be the man. You know, my car's faster than yours, or my wallet's deeper than yours. And in slot cars, there's none of that. None of that. It's awesome. That's why I love slot cars. It's a good balance between the egos I have to deal with. On eBay, believe it or not, I just started using my mom's, and then I got so many likes on it and positive reviews, I couldn't stop using hers in fear of having to start over and have no one buy from me. It's a Jaycene, Jaycene 123 is what it is, and I'll also put it in there also. So yeah, because I've got another 35 or 40 cars I'm getting ready to put on eBay tomorrow night that I'm selling. And then, like I said, if you see something on, that's why I quit doing the Evil Bay thing. Like I said, time, life, dad, dog, you know, all the other stuff. If you see something on eBay that you guys like, get a hold of me directly through the scottdanielmo@gmail.com, and you get it cheaper. Yeah, I'll get it in the link. Yep, I sure will. Thank you for asking. Because one of the they sold one of the little cars that I had on my Batman video that you saw, that I went through all my little Batman collections. They sold the one car from the Series 6 that I have, and it sold for like $160. Insanity. Great car. I just didn't know that there was such much value in that. Value in those cars. Um, One thing I have been working on, and I'll tell you what, I'll wrap this bad boy up. We're down to 16 people. I got 16 thumbs up. Thank you for everybody for giving the thumbs up. I didn't even throw it out there. I'm just trying to answer questions, give you an update. Hey, I'm still alive. I know it's been over a month. Just like I said, I'm not very good at taking the time to edit stuff and cut stuff and make it to where someone would want to sit here and watch it. So I'll let people just skip through with the stuff on this that they don't like, and then rewind on the stuff that they do. But I'll cut us off here at like 8:30 tonight, and then I'm going to do another live feed probably Wednesday or Thursday night, because I am going to start putting the table together. And then I found out I was always double check your wiring before you start attaching. I found out that somewhere along the way on one of my power taps, obviously for each of the 4 lanes, but the red one there's dead, so I'm going to have to redo it. So I thought I would tear it off, have it ready to go, and then I just do like a little live feed of me soldering the wire back onto the track, because that seems to be a scary topic for everybody. But no, thank you everybody. Gene, Ryburn, By the Beach, Kevin, Dan, all you guys. Thank you all for stopping by. I had, honestly, like I said, this is no joke. I invited friends to watch just because I was so afraid that nobody would show up or even give any interest whatsoever. So I'm actually blown away. I thought if I had 5 people, it would be a success. And at one point in time, we had 24. So thank you. Hey, thank you. I have no problem doing these live feeds, and I have no problem Wednesday or Thursday night showing you guys. Either I ruin a piece of track and we start fresh and I start over, or I successfully do it and everybody learns how to do it the right way. And then I'll, if we have time after I butch up on the track or get it repaired, whichever way it goes, because it's 50-50 if you've ever done it. Then I'll try to assemble the legs and put the L part of the table together. But and if you guys have any suggestions, please put them in the comments below, or any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I will get the address for my eBay site, and I'll get that included in the comments section below. And then I'll put in my email address. And thank you, Mike. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, as I said, that's why I did did this video, was to show you guys some tips and then get us ready for the track. Because my goal is to have some cars running around this track before it gets tore down and moved. So we're going to see cars on this track, and they are going to be under their own power, besides Scott pushing them around making slot car sounds. So, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll also get the eBay link for the t-shirts also, and I'll put the other one in there for the got pancakes. That's a kick-ass one too. So, but well, I guess it's 8:28. Guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you to everybody that has purchased any of my cars from eBay or on my website or off of YouTube. I appreciate that. If you have any questions, any cars that you're wanting to try to find to buy, I'm more than happy to try to help you find those too. Everybody, take care, be safe, enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Get a hold of me at scottdanielmo@gmail.com. Comment below. Everybody have a good night. Get out there, light some sparks and melt some plastic. Take care. Bye-bye.